some time to welcome in some district champion coaches in the next several 15-minute blocks because we have first John Matisi, district champion from Springfield, head coach of the girls program over there. Coach, 36-31, you get the win over Maplewood. First of all, congratulations, and thank you again so much for taking the time to join us.
Yeah, thank you, guys. Thanks for having me.
Coach, I mean, first and foremost, a low-scoring game, but I mean, you guys haven't been strangers to these down the stretch. You've been in a lot of hard-fought defensive grudge matches. Just talk to me a little bit about what you saw from your girls last night and what you thought the keys to victory were.
Just a great game. Low-scoring game, defensive game. Maplewood's been playing as well as anybody these last couple months. They struggled early. They played some bigger schools, but I mean, they really put it together down the stretch. So we knew it wasn't going to be easy. They're very well coached. They had a great game plan. And I think we just made enough plays, at the end to pull it out.
Coach, when you look at a district championship for this team, put into words what it kind of means to this program to call themselves district champions, to get that trophy and to hold it up in a year that I know has been a lot more ups than downs, but it has had its ups and downs for sure.
Yeah, it was just, I can't say enough about, I got so many texts during that day just about the last time it was done, people wishing us good luck. And then, we walked into the gym getting off the bus and we had fans there, cheering us, just walking in, and just the atmosphere. It was, I can't, it's almost hard to put into words how awesome that night was. I mean, just from the game to afterwards, getting the escort home, there's people lined up on the street, honking their horns as we're coming back to the school. I just, just to see the excitement from everybody, I'm just so happy, happy for the kids, happy for the community that we got to experience something like that.
One player to be very excited about, JC Mullen. We've had a chance to have her on and talk with her before, but I want to hear from your perspective now, Coach, what it means to have someone of her caliber on the team that can go out and get you pretty much 20 any given night, and kind of the luxury also of knowing you got her for another year.
Yeah, she's just so tough. I mean, her rebounding numbers are crazy this year. I mean, to even go with the scoring, she's something where if a play breaks down, if we get a bad shot, if we don't exactly get into a set correctly, it's something where, she comes up with a loose ball, she comes up with a rebound, we can still get 2 points. I mean, that's a big part of why we score she's cleaning up the mess. She's cleaning up around the rim. Really just able to do anything we need her to offensively. I mean, she was a leading scorer. Saturday night, she had 11 to 36. I mean, that's like having 20, 25 in a normal game.
And then Maddie Lesneck adds 9, and she's someone that can score, definitely does score when she needs to, but has been such a good job at distributing the ball, getting players where they need to be, and being one of your main ball handlers this year. Talk about what she's meant to the team as we go into more of your players and breaking down what they've meant to this district championship.
Yeah, well, I couldn't be prouder of Maddie. We asked her to run the point for us early in the year. Looking at our roster, we thought she was our best option. And so we asked her to do it. We asked her to maybe sacrifice a little bit of scoring to get us into sets, to be able to run the show, to be able to handle the ball, break pressure, everything that comes with being a point guard. And she's gotten better every day. And just to watch her from, when we first asked her to do it to Saturday, we told her at halftime, it's going to be loud out there. We can't hear us. We can't get into sets. You got to do it. And just coming out that second half, she's calling plays. She's getting us into offense. She's really embraced that. And just to watch, like I said, from beginning till Saturday was, can't say enough about how she embraced that role and she developed.
Talking about development and kind of staying on that track, talk to me about the biggest point of development that you've seen from this team from game 1 of the season to this point now that we have a full regular season under our belt.
Mm-hmm. I would say, defense really, our offense is going to be what it is. We like to go through the post. We like to do different things, but defensively, really understanding a game plan, being able to dig in, on a 2-day prep, that's during the season you play, Monday you get 2 days, you play Thursday, you get 2 days. So really embracing that and being able to do all kinds of different things. I mean, we have a couple different presses. We have a couple different half court things that we like to do. and just to be able to say, all right, for this game, we're going to do, these are the 3 things on the list that we're going to look at, and just have them accept it and go. I mean, that Friday night was probably our best night of practice all year. So then to come in Saturday and be able to execute, hold them to 31, hold down a couple really good players. I think we needed, those experiences during the year of maybe not doing that so well, got us to where we were Saturday.
You guys have more time to prep than other teams in other divisions. You're not playing until Thursday down at Massillon Perry in the regionals, but I'm sure you still haven't have got plenty of chances to look at Buckeye Central in the day that you've been district champions and trying to break down kind of what they're about and what they do well. Talk about this team and what challenges they kind of possess and what it's going to take on Thursday to get a win.
Well, that's perfect segue because it's going to be defense. Just watching film, we have obviously film from their district games. We have a few other films, and they shoot the lights out. I mean, they're a team that you're watching them anytime you're off, anytime they drive and kick, anytime you leave them, you don't got a hand up. They're shooting it and they're making them. So it's going to be defense, getting out, contesting everything, making sure we're not letting girls get around us, and just really, it's going to be solid individual defense. It's going to be when we're helping, we got to make sure we're rotating. It's not a stretch to say they're the best offensive team we've seen all year.
Coach, you mentioned the crowd before, and I'm going to bring up the Springfield community and Springfield faithful again. Anybody that's from Springfield, anyone that coaches or anyone that's even involved in the programs down there know that almost any sports program, it doesn't matter what program, what side of the program you're on, they seem to get support. And you mentioned that support following you. What does it mean to you as a coach, and what can you speak on from the player's perspective and what it means to just get that support constantly? And when those neutral games don't feel like neutral games, they feel like home games, and even road games can feel like home games sometimes.
Yeah, one of our parents took a great picture of they were on the opposite side and just took a picture of our side of the stands, and it was just a block of people. There weren't any seats, there weren't any. It was just a wall of people, and I mean that just when you can look up and see that, it's just so great. Probably my lasting memory from Saturday of the game itself will be, we're up 5 at the end of the game. They're trying to run offense. 2 minutes to go, they're trying to score, and just how loud our crowd was. They can't hear each other. They can't hear anything. They're trying to get set up. They can't. And I mean, it impacts the game, so something like that is just, I'll always remember that.
Coach, now the stage gets bigger. The gym gets bigger. That Massillon Perry gym can get a handful on you real quick. It's big, it's wide, it's got double deck stands, all the things that you expect from a regional game. And we talked about in the beginning of this interview how it's the first time this program has been there in quite a bit. What's the game plan for handling the stage and making sure the girls don't make too much of it and trying to keep it as low key as possible?
Yeah, I mean, there are going to be nerves. There's no way around it. Not having been there, we're just hoping that some of our big games earlier in the year will carry us. I look to our game at Waterloo. We lost by 1. We didn't shoot the ball from the free throw line. We were 3 for 14. That was probably the most hostile road environment we were in all year. And I feel like without that, maybe we don't win a district. Without that experience, I don't know if we go on a run, just because we lost games, previously in the year, but I really don't think we were as disappointed as we were after that Waterloo game. That was really, I think, as down as the kids were, and understanding that we really have to lock in after that. And since that loss, I mean, our practices have been great. We've been playing really well. So I'm hoping that experience kind of carries us. It will. I mean, you said it's going to take a minute, look around, take it in, and then just get it out of your system, and we got to play.
A lot of coaches will tell us too that the kids will actually teach them as much as they teach the kids. So in saying that, what is the biggest thing you've learned about yourself from these kids this season?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. I don't know. It's
You
just,
stumped them.
yeah, I know. I'm trying to think. You caught me off guard with that one. Just, I guess, how to, what, like I talked earlier with Maddie, making that change at point guard, different things that came up during the year. I mean, obviously with COVID stuff, just being a communicator more than anything, X's and O's stuff. Anybody can run different offenses, different defenses. It's kind of how you communicate, how you get the kids to buy in, how you play. And I think that's something that, has had to be brought out this year from myself, from our staff. That's what I would say.
But I know you've spent a lot of time on the boys' side before doing getting this job as the head coach of the girls' side. Do you think there's more of the communication versus X's and O's on the girls' side than the boys' side, especially when you have to make adjustments mid-season like you have this year? Do you think there's a little bit of difference in how you communicate those adjustments you have to make and how you've had to grow in learning how to do that?
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say it's too much different. There's maybe a little more, as crazy as it sounds, probably a little more X's and O's on the girls' side, just because you can scheme a little more to take players out of it. It's tougher to shut somebody, a really good boys player down, I think, than it is a really good girls player. But I wouldn't say it's much different. I was very fortunate with the boys that, Coach Fender, Coach French, they're tremendous communicators, and just to be able to watch them for 6 years do it, I really took a lot from them that we've tried to then implement now with the girls.
Talking about the Matisi name inside of coaching, I think it runs so deep. There's so many Matisis coaching all over the sport of basketball. Just talk to me, though, a little bit about just who some of your role models were growing up. What kind of got you into this love for coaching? I feel like I could take some guesses, but what got you into this love for coaching? And what's kept you in it for so long?
Well, we said, obviously, my dad. I mean, going to practices when we're young with him, doing the film, doing different stuff. We would sit there Saturday mornings and do the stats before they had huddle, before they had any of that stuff. And so just moving up with him, coaching elementary at Lowville, coaching JVs with him, doing the book, different things like that. It's just, you just get into that routine, and it's not, winter comes, it's not winter, it's basketball season. Spring comes, it's not spring, it's open gym. Summer, you have, your camps, and it's just, that's the schedule you're on. I mean, he's been coaching since before I was born, and that's just kind of what we've always done. I don't know what I'd do without it.
Coach, I guess before we let you go, I guess the big question to segue from that is, has he given you any advice yet about, being in the regionals? Obviously, he made a deep run last year, and has he kind of reached out and given you any nice advice about what to do in this regional level?
Oh, yeah. I mean, well, I was up there last night, up at my parents' house, and, we're watching a little film, doing different things, talking about it. So it's just a constant, I told him if he has any suggestions, let me know after watching some of their film. But it's always a daily, every other day kind of thing where we're checking in, seeing how we're doing, how the team's feeling, both ways. And just to have that resource. I mean, I had Coach French was at the game. Coach Fender texted me in the morning. So it's just, not only my dad, but those two, speaking of role models. I mean, I've been incredibly fortunate who I've gotten to coach with during my career. And now, being able to do it, carrying all that stuff with me with the girls is just, has been great.
Coach, thank you so much for taking the time to join us and previewing this game a little bit and giving us another insight into what went into that district championship game. We wish you the best of luck this week, and hopefully we'll get you back on and we can talk about a regional championship.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you, Coach.